Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello Mr. Hendi and everyone. My name is Fatwadika Adinia Dakoranis with students number 220142108. Before we jump into our main topic today, I would like to give disclaimer first that this video is created pure for education and to complete my midterm test of CCU. Okay, so the big topic today is the racism of Black Americans during the old days and the modern days. So I will give a brief explanation what are the racisms happened during the old days and on the modern days, and how's the causes and how's the implications of it. And at the end, I would like to give the recommendations how to eradicate these racisms that happened during the old days and the modern days. And also, this explanation I took from some articles and websites that I have read. Okay, without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, based on the articles and websites that I have read, there are some racisms that happened during the old days and the modern days. And first I would like to explain the racisms that happened during the old days. Actually, there are 4 racisms that I have found. There are slavery, and then Jim Crow laws, and then lynching and redlining for the old days racism happened. Meanwhile, in the modern days, there are discriminations, and then what else? And then the systemic racism and criminal justice system, and the last as well. Yeah, but I think I want to give the explanation of for the 8 racisms that happened during the old days or the modern days in this occasion, because the limited of time that I have, so maybe I just explain 2 or 3 racisms that happened. So the first is slavery. The first racism that happened in the old days is slavery. So slavery in the United States lasted from the early colonial period until the Civil War. It enslaved Americans endured immense suffering and family separations and dehumanizations. And what is the slavery? Slavery refers to the brutal system where Black individuals were forcibly captured, transported, and sold primarily in the Americas. And they were treated as a property, as a goods, and they were forced to work on plantation and denied basic human rights. So what is the causes of slavery itself? So the causes of slavery itself is slavery was deeply entrenched in economic interest, and plantation owners relied on enslaved labor to cultivate crops and then to build infrastructure and generate profits. So how's the implications about this slavery? So the implication of this racism, is enslaved Black people endure unimaginable suffering, and then forced labor, family separations, and physical abuse and cultural erasure. And my recommendation to eradicate this racism is we have to acknowledge. We have to acknowledge first that this dark chapter in this history, slavery ever happened in this history. So, and then after that, we can educate about its impact and advocate for reparative justice and initiative like memorializing slave narratives and supporting organizations that promote racial healing are essential. Yeah, very, very essential. Next racism is redlining. I think you have all ever heard about this racism that happened during the old days. So redlining was prevalent from the 1930s onward. So black communities were intentionally excluded from home ownership, leading to economic disparities and segregated neighborhoods. As redlining refers to discriminatory housing practices where the certain neighborhoods were marked as high risk based on the racial demographics. So black families were systematically denied access to housing in desirable areas. So what is the cause of the redlining? So the cause of the redlining is discriminatory housing practice denied black families access to certain neighborhoods, and this redlining perpetuates generational poverty. So my recommendation to eradicate this racism is we have to address housing inequities and then invest in affordable housing, and perhaps we can promote fair lending practices, and we also can support the organizations which working to reverse the effects of the redlining. Okay, so now we move on to the racisms that happened during the modern days or the contemporary racism. Okay, actually I have found four that racism happened during the modern days. There are criminal justice systems, and then systemic racism, discrimination, and wealth gap. But in this occasion, I would like to explain the criminal justice system and discriminations, which commonly we have ever heard. Okay, criminal justice system. Black Americans face disproportionate arrest, longer sentences, and biased policing. So the system perpetuates inequality and distrust, and the criminal justice system encompasses law enforcement and courts and corrections. And in the context of African American, it refers to the system's impact on black individuals, and including racial bias and harsh sentencing, as well as the police violence. And what is the cause of the criminal justice system? I think racial bias persists within policing, arrests, and sentencing, and the use of force, as I mentioned it before. And the implicit bias affects to the decision making as well. So the implications of this racism is disproportionate incarceration rates, and then loss of trust and community trauma. Yeah, it can affect to the community trauma. And my suggestion and my recommendation to eradicate this racism is perhaps we can advocate for police reform and unbiased training and community policing. And we have to support, we have to support the organizations that work toward a criminal justice equity. The last but not least is discrimination. Discrimination also happened during the modern days. Yeah, racism happened in the modern days. So Black Americans continue to face discrimination in various aspects of life, like the employment, education, healthcare, and interactions with law enforcement. And discrimination involves treating individuals unfairly based on their race, ethnicity, and or the other characteristics, and it can be overt or subtle. So what is the cause of the discrimination? Actually, it's not only happened in American, because I also found discrimination also available in our country, Indonesia. So the cause is the implicit bias and stereotypes perpetuate discriminatory behavior, and microaggregations harm black individuals daily also can be a cause of the discrimination. And the implication of this racism, it will affect to the mental health, and then reduce their well-being and hindered the progresses. And my recommendations to eradicate this racism is we have to foster our empathy. We have to increase our empathy. We have to care with others without see them based on their race or ethnicity, because we have to know that we are human, we are same. So we have to look others same. We have to look others same. We have rights as well. So my recommendation to eradicate this racism is first, increasing or fostering our empathy, and promote cultural competence also can reduce the discrimination, and we have to challenge the stereotypes. And also we can engage in uncomfortable conversations to dismantle the prejudice. Okay everyone, so we have already in the last section. I hope you can get the new insights, get the knowledge from the discussion topic today. So if there are any mistakes, I would like to apologize, and that's all for me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.